Welcome to VSP News Online for today, Bermuda Day, Monday, May the 25th. I'm Charles Webb. Love was in the air today as the Bermuda Day parade kicked off with the governor, the premier, the mayor of Hamilton, and other dignitaries enjoying the countless floats and participants from their vantage point at the dais on Front Street. But even across town to Cedar Avenue and Bernard Park, it was reinforced that today's theme was all about love and togetherness, as Bermudians and visitors of all shapes, shades, and sizes unabashedly demonstrated that nothing was going to take away their joy on this special day.
It's all about love. On our Bermuda Day, all about love. That's what it's all about. Bermuda Day, one love. Peace and harmony.
So who are your crew? What is it all about?
It's just good friends. We get together every holiday, and a lot of us are childhood friends, so we just get together, bring food, sit, celebrate, and we just have our little camp open to everybody.
I think what you see around and hear around right here along the side of the procession and the parade, just families together, friends together, people walking around. It's a really happy atmosphere, people teasing each other.
But after the stresses of your daily duties, wouldn't you just rather be sitting at the pool at Government House?
No, I can't think of any places I'd rather be at the moment than right here.
What is it we can learn as a country about the festivities and the camaraderie of Bermuda Day?
Well, I think the first thing is you have to recognize that Bermudians have a deep, deep sense of pride in Bermuda and what we stand for and what we can do. So I think what we can learn is that no matter what obstacles we have, no matter what challenges we have, there are opportunities and we can come together. We live out here in the middle of the ocean, in paradise, and we can come together, and instead of focusing in on some of the obstacles we have, let's turn those into positives and work together and make it happen.
It's just amazing the amount of people that are out. It really is a wonderful time for Bermudians and tourists alike to come and celebrate a great Bermuda Day.
Everybody talks about the camaraderie of today. Is it too much to hope that we could have something similar to this every day?
Too much to hope. It would be sweet. It would be sweet.
It's so congenial. I mean, it feels good inside.
Do you think we can have this type of congeniality tomorrow?
I know so. This is Bermuda.
What is it that appeals to you most about this occasion?
Bermuda Day. Bermudians come out, enjoy themselves, have fun.
The sense of community, for sure. The sense of community and just people having fun and just relaxing. It's cool.
I just love being on my old friends and just enjoying myself, Charlie. And seeing good friends to great old school days.
Now you're watching the parade. What about the food?
Food is always excellent. And I keep my eyes on other things too, but I won't tell you what it is.
So tell me what is it about food that makes Bermuda Day so exciting?
People have to eat. They get hungry. Most Bermudians like to drink. So when it comes to drinking, you have to eat to sober up, I guess.
So what's on the menu?
Fish, chicken, french fries, hot dogs.
All staple food.
Oh, yes.
Stick to your ribs.
Yes.
No matter the time of day, them fi get slay anywhere. Me no rich, but if I start them, man a millionaire. Personally, I look at
The Parole Board has issued its report for 2014 and has revealed that during the year a total of 35 incarcerated persons were granted parole. 2 were denied parole, 11 decided to decline parole so that they continued with rehabilitation programs, and 89 were deferred to be seen again, mostly because of drug addiction problems. And as Brian Darby reports, there were 2 issues that caused the Parole Board some concern.
The Parole Board complains in its annual report that it has been asking in vain since 2007 for an amendment to the Prisons Act, which would require that an incarcerated person must serve a minimum of 12 months of a longer sentence before being eligible for parole. This, says the board, would enable individuals to participate in rehabilitation programs. In addition, the board continues to regret that a replacement program for the now closed Transitional Living Center has yet to be found. The statistics from the TLC show that a majority of its clients had a very high chance of not reoffending. Brian Darby reporting for BSB News.
A 12% increase in the standard premium health insurance rate has been tabled by the Minister of Health, Jeannie Atherton, and she provides VSP News' Brian Darby with a breakdown of how some of the benefits will be improved.
I'd like to think that once we explain to the public as to what the health changes do and the benefits that they will actually get from it, that they will see that over the long term it will actually do some things which will improve their health and ultimately drive the cost of health down. As we said, we're moving it from standard hospital benefit to standard health benefit in recognition that it's better for the persons to have care in places which are not hospital-centric, that if we turn around and we put it so that you can go to your doctor, you can actually go to, with respect to persons that have the non-communicable diseases, the chronic diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, obesity, that we're saying, look, we're going to turn around and allow you to go and have the care under a physician, so that you don't end up going to the emergency because all of a sudden your symptom has gotten unmanageable.
This saves money.
This saves money. With respect to some of the other things, obviously, it's very important for us to recognize that with respect to the seniors, which I'm very pleased that we're doing now, so that if you've been in the hospital and now you still need care, but you don't need the acute care that requires you to be in there, that you will be able to go out and either be cared for at home, be cared for in a nursing home, and therefore some money will follow you, so that persons will not stay. I saw an article in it which related to something that was happening in the UK, which you don't want to happen here. People afraid to leave the hospital because they're worried that their care outside it won't be covered. This way, those persons which no longer need acute care will be able to go home, and we can have what we're striving for, which is aging at home. The guidelines reminded us all that it's important for us as patients to understand things relating to our health, to ask the questions of our doctor, to make sure that they understand our concerns and make recommendations to us that are appropriate. And so if you have a question, or you know that there's something in your family history, or you have a point, raise it with your physician, because the guidelines do not just deal with mammograms. The guidelines deal with things like prostate cancer and lots of other things. Going forward, if nothing else, people in Bermuda have to start saying, take ownership of your health, because some other things, healthy living, we're not going to have people turn around and get the obesity down. We're not going to turn around and have the high blood pressure if people don't start doing things themselves. We have to be preventative. Too much of this after the fact. We have to prevent, not cure.
Author Jack Griffin has some fascinating tales about the world's most expensive race, the America's Cup. A keen follower of the race, the title of his latest book is Turning the Tide, and he explains how this could be applied even to Bermuda. You're the author of a book, Turning the Tide.
Yes.
How do you see the America's Cup turning the tide for Bermuda?
It's a really good question, and this is my first visit to Bermuda, and I'm so embarrassed that I never came before. So I hesitate to admit that, but maybe I can make up for it by saying that I really love it. It certainly won't be the last time I'm in. But I've tried to learn as much about Bermuda as I could over the last 6 months. And I think I've learned quite a bit and have a fairly good appreciation for some of the economic situations. And Bermuda is a jewel. And Bermuda, I worked in my career before I got into the business of the America's Cup. I worked in Silicon Valley, and I was at Apple Computer, and Apple Computer is a passion brand. It's one of these brands that has an illogical loyalty and following from its customers. Bermuda should be a passion brand. Bermuda should be a destination that people put on their bucket list of, before I die, I need to go to Bermuda, and then maybe go back. But I think that it can turn the tide for Bermuda because Bermuda seems to have fallen off the shelf a little bit in terms of a tourist destination. And I think the America's Cup can turn that back around. It can make it, more desirable. It can help Bermuda compete against, you can go to Thailand or Tahiti or things like that were harder for people to do in maybe the heyday of Bermuda as a tourist destination. But Bermuda is a wonderful destination. I think this can turn it around. Bermuda also has this incredible economic mix of large international companies who have operations here and a vibrant local economy I'm so amazed by Bermudians. So many people that I met seem to have 2 or 3 jobs or businesses that they do. The entrepreneurial spirit here is really good, and I think that can also benefit from just general economic stimulus coming from the America's Cup. So it's really important for tourism, but it's going to be really important for the other segments of the economy too, in my opinion.
And now for the highlights from the Half Marathon Derby and the Sinclair Packwood Memorial Race, we turn to Earl Baisden.
By all accounts, it was a glorious day as the sun rose in the East End for the start of the Bermuda Day Half Marathon Derby. Well, Krista Stwanek and Ashley Stwanek ran to victory on Dutton Avenue. Chris continued his streak of winning the Bermuda Day Half Marathon as he recorded his 6th victory after missing the last 2 years because of injuries. Stwanek competed the 13.1-mile course that began in the East End in a time of 1:07:46. Finishing in second was Lamont Marshall, who clocked 1:13:51, and Stephen Allen finished third in a time of 1:14:38. To make it a happy home for the Stwaneks, this evening, Ashley was able to hold off a strong challenge from Ashley Berry to win the women's race in a time of 1:22:42, crossing the line 11th overall, while Berry finished 13th overall with a time of 1:22:58. Former winner Rosanna Hoy rounded out the top 3 female finishers, as she finished 32nd overall with a time of 1:30:43. Chris said it was a day to remember.
Having fun out there today. It was I think that's the most fun I've had running since I've been in Bermuda. It's just 3 years of frustration. Somebody's coming in, I think. Lon's coming in great. Just coming off the marathon last week, I didn't know how the legs were going to feel, but the youngsters went out in the front with me, and I just sort of said, all right, well, this is what I've always done. No need to change it now. I've always believed that you can run hard from the get-go and let these guys come with me. It pulls everybody to a good time. So the sit and kick races don't generally pan out well for me. So great job, Lamont. It's just what a day. I mean, the fans, the course, the weather, it was awesome. I mean, I literally finished and I was like, I could just keep going, and maybe not back, but another couple miles. I just felt really comfortable. I was locked into that pace, and obviously I slowed down on the hills and all that. But it was just awesome to be out there. Fans made it today, man. I was smiling more than I ever have in my life. So thank you for everybody who came out to support. So that's what you guys make the day. It's not the runners; it's you guys. So
Ashley Stwanek talked about her battle with Berry.
felt pretty good for about 4 miles, and then I was like, oh God, it's starting to hurt. I thought I was going to feel really smooth at flats, but I already was hurting a little bit. And then that hill from Devonshire Church all the way up to Zebiem was just, really hurt. And then coming down off the Lane Hill, I turned around and I saw Ashley. I didn't know who it was, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to turn this on. And I ran the rest of the way sub 6 minute pace, but it hurt. I mean, it always hurts at the end of May 24th, but that really hurt.
Now, obviously, she gave you a scare, not knowing, not seeing her around. She's been doing a lot of running in the UK in school, but not knowing what she's got left. Did you think it's all or nothing now?
You know what? I ran against her last year, so I know she's got talent. We ran 3,000 against each other, and she killed me on the track. So. And you know what? She's young. She's got a lot of years of distance running ahead of her if she wants to do that. And I honestly think she's got tons of potential. So she's one to look out for. I'm scared.
Ryan Otterbridge ran to victory in the Heritage Day Junior Classic race, holding off a late charge from Jaden Ming. Otterbridge crossed the line in a time of 11:25, with Ming finishing in second in a time of 11:30, and Quincy Cusack finished in third, crossing the line in a time of 11:31. Selah Tuzo defended her title, crossing the line 7th overall, clocking a time of 12:14. Jessie Marshall was the second female finisher, and 13th overall, clocking a time of 12:44. Harley Bruton rounded out the top 3 female finishers, and 17th overall, with a time of 13:17. Shannon Lawrence and Zanique Williams defended their Sinclair Packwood Memorial Race titles. Lawrence put some distance between himself and the field, and then used his time trial experience to power his way to victory, while Williams was in a battle and won the race in a sprint finish along Cedar Avenue. Lawrence explained his plan from the start.
Going into it, I was basically looking for the heels. As you can see, I'm trimmed down, been training pretty hard and stuff, and just basically try to see what people's legs were like in the heels. Yeah, that was the thought.
And then obviously group packed up, but you decided to make a move where, and when did you think it was over?
Well, I just remain calm, basically preserving energy as I was coming along up while they're setting the pace. As you can see, my team was pushing out at the front a bit to just keep the pace high. When I saw the lull over the flats hill, I said, okay, well, this is the time. And basically, I jumped to just see who will come with me. And basically, when I turned around later on, there was nobody really there. So I said, okay, well, I'll tail me and time trial my way home and see if I can make it. And that was it, basically.
Williams said the team's plans had to change.
We plan to ride for Gabby today, and she's riding super strong. It's just when we went on Church Street, Karen kept the intensity up high. I turned back, I saw it right there. And then when we went on Cedar Avenue, it was like 1, 2, 3, and Karen went, so I had to go for it. I couldn't wait for her to, or Karen to take it, or Gabby to catch up. I didn't know where she was. I wasn't looking behind me. I was just heading for the sprint.
Coming across the causeway, what did you think about the what it would take for you to actually get to that finish line first?
Like I said, I was working for Gabby, so I wasn't worried about coming first. It was all about getting my teammate, to come first. And she was attacking, I was attacking. We was doing that 1-2 punch, Karen Smith did an awesome attack. Penelope even got on the front, So, and she's new to cycling, so that was surprising. And she did pretty good, The hills were great. I mean, I did a couple of attacks where it was just Gabby, Karen, and I, but those girls are like strong will and kept catching back up. So they had a lot of determination. It was only a 13-mile race, so everybody's like, yeah, I'm just right here. I could, keep up. So, but I guess, it worked out because Winner's Edge came on top again, so it worked out fine.
A traditional Bermuda roof wetting ceremony was held at the Clyde Best Center of Excellence, which in the next few weeks will become the home of the Bermuda Football Association in Prospect. Clyde Best himself done the honors.
As I said, always, it's not something that you set out with intentions to do when you start your career, but I think it's a wonderful honor to be given on the name of a building in your honor, and I would just like to thank the BFA, the president. I know he's been a spearhead behind that with my two buddies, Robert and Richard, and it's great to see, and I'm just thankful.
In Bermuda Cricket Board 2020 league action, St. George's defeated Somerset Bridge by 8 wickets yesterday at the Wellington Oval. Visiting Somerset Bridge batted first and were restricted to 108 for 8 in their allotted 20 overs. Donnie Charles was the top scorer with 52. Nazari Painter was the pick of the St. George's Cricket Club bowlers, returning figures of 3 overs, 3 for 11. In reply, St. George's Cricket Club scored 109 for 2. Charlie Marshall III and Mackay Simmons shared an 84-run third-wicket partnership to steer the home team to the win. Simmons scored 43 not out, while Marshall was 38 not out. In other 2020 action yesterday, Western Stars defeated PHC by 89 runs. Scores: Western Stars 183 for 1, PHC 94 for 9. Bailey's Bay defeated Cleveland County by 4 wickets. Cleveland County was 90 for 8, while Bailey's Bay was 92 for 6. Bailey's Bay then turned around and defeated Somerset Cricket Club by 9 runs. Bailey's Bay scored 159 for 5 and then held Somerset Cricket Club to 150 for 5. On Saturday in 2020 cricket action, Southampton Rangers defeated Bailey's Bay by 7 wickets. Bailey's Bay scored 84 for 6 in their allotted 20 overs, and Southampton Rangers scored 85 for 3. Flats Victoria defeated Willowcotts by 5 wickets. Willowcotts scored 113 all out, with Flats Victoria scoring 114 for 5. Southampton Rangers won by 118 runs over Cleveland County. Southampton Rangers scored 219 for 4 and then restricted Cleveland County to 101 for 7. Peter Miller recorded 3 wins to open the 2015 Bermuda Fitted Dinghy season in the St. George's Harbour yesterday. Miller, at the helm of contests, won the Heritage Trophy, Anniversary Cup, and the Leon D. Fox Cup races. Miller laid down the law in the first race, putting a comfortable 2-minute lead on the chasing 3 boats during the first race of the day. Tom Clark, sailing Victory, recorded 3 second-place finishes, while Elizabeth, skippered by John Nichols, and ONC, sailing Challenger, both sank during the day. Despite some weather delays, Harbour Swim Club members recorded some excellent results in both the preliminary and final sessions of the T2 Aquatics Norris Foundation swim meet in Naples, Florida. Emma Kittleston attained her first AAA time, Brett Smith swimming a personal best to get his first qualifying time for the Canadian Nationals. Nick Pilgrim and Brian Desmond made their second qualifying times, making them eligible for the Carifta selection for next year. Jason Hassel swam to a A-time in the 100-meter breaststroke. Emma Harvey set a new meet record and a personal best in the 100-meter butterfly, touching the wall in a time of 1:04.93. Sophomore Dage Miners of the Franklin Pierce University men's track and field team earned All-American honors for the second time this year as he placed 8th in the 800-meter final at the NCAA Division II Championships. Miners' accomplishment was the first All-American honor earned by the outdoor track and field portion of the Franklin Pierce program. Miners was a step slower in the final than the preliminaries as he turned in a time of 1:51.20 to finish 8th, with the top 8 finishers earning All-American accolades. Miners will add the award to his All-American run in the 800 meters at the Indoor NCAA Championships that was held earlier this year, where he placed 6th in the event back in March. Michael Franklin concluded taking part in the Jersey Squash Rackets Association's $5,000 Men's Classic in St. Clement, Jersey. Franklin, ranked 7th in the tournament, took on tournament's number 4 seed, Englishman Ashley Davis, in the quarterfinal. Franklin went out in 4 games. Franklin won the first game 12-10, but Davis would come back to win the second game 11-4. Davis would win the third game 11-8 and take a 2-1 lead. He would then close out the match, winning the fourth game 12-10. The Cubs and the Orioles passed the lead back and forth 4 times in the latest round of YAO Cal Ripken baseball action at Kinley Field. In the end, the Cubs pulled out a 4-3 win in 6 innings over the Orioles. I'm Earl Baston reporting for VSB Sports.
Looking at the weather for Tuesday, May the 26th, there will be a mix of sun and clouds Winds will be northeasterly, moderate to strong. We're expecting a high near 77 and a low near 69. This weather forecast is courtesy of the Bermuda Weather Service. Thanks for watching VSB News Online for Monday, May the 25th. I'm Charles Webb. Don't you wish Bermuda Day could be like every day? Have fun.